Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Body Bags. It's week 131. I'm your Wednesday host, Steve Bourgie86, and I'm back again to give you another review. And the review I got for you guys this week is a film that I heard about and I've been eyeing it for a while to pick up, and I finally did. And it's from a director, Tetsuo Nakashima, who's a director I know of. I know of the films he directed, like Memories of Masuku and Kamikaze Girls, but I never got a chance to check those films out, so I don't really know like his style of filmmaking. Well, I do now because I've seen the film, but like his full style, like if it changes over time and stuff. And this is a film that I really dug, and it's called Confessions. Yeah. Now, the main plot of this one is we're introduced to our central character, who's Mrs. Muraguchi, who's a middle school teacher. Her daughter ends up getting killed. It's ruled out like an accidental death because of the way of the matter of the death and stuff. And what happens is one day in school, she actually corners all her students and tell her life story and stuff, and her daughter and how much she love her. Then she goes into saying like that her daughter's death wasn't accidental. It was she was killed, murdered, and actually the murderers were in the classroom. So it's her and these the two main kids in the film. It's not really a spoiler because you know who the killers are in the beginning of the film, who are two kids. I believe their names Shoya and Nakiyoki. Naoki, I butchered the hell out of that, I know, but you know what I mean. And it's between them, and it goes into like this psychological battle of wits between the characters throughout the rest of the film after they realize, after she says she's gonna get her revenge on them. And that's pretty much the main plot of the film. Now, my thoughts on it. Really, really well done film, I have to say. It's you never really get to see films like this with this tone and with like the characters are like most of the characters are kids, especially like the protagonists of this film, like with the two main kids that actually did this murder of her teacher's daughter. And yeah, like one of them is I believe 13 years old. That's how young they are, and it's a really heartfelt film with like the acting and shit in it. A lot of fucked up shit happens in this film. Like after the first, like the reveal of the revenge, and you're like your mouth drops, and you're like what? And then a lot of other fucked up shit happens, especially with these two kid characters with their psychosis and the shit they do in the film. There is a few other deaths. That's all I'm gonna say. Not to spoil the film for you if you haven't seen it. And it's really fucking well done. It has like this weird linear timeline throughout the film where the film goes from the past back to the present to the future in some scenes, and it's crazy how they did that and stuff with the film. The score is outstanding. It's very piano driven, like low pitched piano, and it also has like a interesting soundtrack of like artists too on the film. Like this Radiohead. Radiohead is like one of those groups that I think fit like a film like this. It's kind of weird that it's a Radiohead's on a Japanese film soundtrack, but I could get it at the same time because of the type of music they make. And it's very airy and shit in some scenes, and kind of tense and disturbing and fucked up. Like there's one scene I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, what? And shit like that, and kind of like a psychological revenge film by the descriptions, with some very disturbing imagery and tense scenes and stuff. The whole ending of the film is awesome. If you like revenge films, like even like like the revenge films where the one baddie gets it at the very end. like, yeah, and then but this one's kind of heartfelt and saddening and kind of a little depressing at the same time because of the tones and the characters involved with kids and shit. But you're still like, what the fuck? Because the revenge is fucking brutal, even though it's mostly psychological and shit and mind fucking. But other than that, this is a very solid film. I highly recommend it. If I had to rate Confessions, I'm gonna give it a solid 9 out of 10 for Confessions. It's a film that I think people kind of like, but they might get confused if they miss a scene because of the non-linear format of the film. It's a film you have to really pay attention to, or you'll get lost in the shuffle. Really solid watch, 9 out of 10. I'm gonna be checking out a few more of this guy's films in the future, so check it out if you haven't seen it. Alright guys, that's it for that review. Like, subscribe, and comment the body bags. I'm going to leave the link to my channel below. If you have seen Confessions, leave some comments and tell me your thoughts on the film. It's a very interesting, disturbing film with twists and turns in it. If you haven't seen it, let me know and I'll give you some information on the film and how to grab it. Alright guys, I'll see you next week. I hope you enjoyed the review. Peace out.